What's going on, everyone? I'm Cucumber, and today I want to talk to you about something that I genuinely enjoy about the Bethesdaverse, and that is exploration. I also wanted to change the format a little and perhaps try making this video a sort of just collection of why I enjoy exploration and spitballing ideas out there that could make exploration a little more different or perhaps a little more enjoyable. These suggestions won't be for the purpose of trying to fix a problem like I have been doing in my previous videos, but more along the lines of, wouldn't it be cool if blank? First, some context. In my current most recent playthroughs of both Skyrim and Fallout 4, I decided that I would refrain from fast traveling, besides the use of carriages and the like. And surprisingly, all the time that I've gone through the world of both Skyrim and the Commonwealth, I've always stuck to teleporting between locations, as if I were Goku using instantaneous transmission, utterly disregarding the in-betweens, excluding the initial travel to discover any one location. I did this fast traveling limitation with Skyrim first, and that experience made me want to try it with Fallout. And I can say that I hold such a weight of regret for not trying this tiny change sooner. I can say that even before trying the non-fast travel method of getting around, I really loved going through all the nooks and crannies and seeing what I could find. But I can honestly say now that because of this little restriction, that I have such an appreciation for what Bethesda crafts when it comes to the world of both games. There have been people, places, and vignettes I had never seen before trying the non-fast traveling method, and I have a hard time trying to explain how much I've actually missed, considering I probably still haven't seen everything that Bethesda has put into both of these games. And if anyone is to get anything out of this video, it's that if you have not tried a no fast traveling playthrough, which may be only a few considering I feel late to the party already, that you tried at least once on one game, because I can imagine that experience of traversing the world and connecting the dots between map markers will fulfill you enough to try it with other titles as well. Let's just get straight into the ideas by saying that I think it would be an interesting option to have no map markers, bar major locations like Sanctuary or Diamond City, on the map or compass, even after discovering a location. I think having no map markers would almost force or push the player to look at the world Bethesda made rather than the compass trying to see the closest location. And when I initially thought of this idea, I imagined each location going from just another place on your map to inching them toward being more special, as if you decided to look right instead of left, you could completely miss an entire location just based on you not looking both ways. My overall intent with this change is to make the locations more like those little vignettes that are currently not marked on your map that Bethesda weaves into the world for the player to find, like that car Stonehenge guarded by the Behemoth, or some ruins beneath a lake within Skyrim. These places really stick out as you had to go out of your way to find them, and people can recount first finding one of these locations and watching their friend's face in amusement as they've never seen that place before and try to find it themselves thereafter. With having no map markers, however, I believe that many more places that would normally just be a dungeon cleared and forgotten would be made into a story you have to tell everyone about, because they might not have ever seen the Boston Mayoral Bunker or the Red Eagle Redoubt. But I do want to concede that there may be a few problems with that system, as for one, making those previously really special vignettes, like that car Stonehenge, a little less special, or quests harder to work with, because you don't have a map marker to lead the player to the proper location. But as I said in the beginning, I would make this and every one of my ideas an option rather than a base mechanic of the game. Almost like a checkbox for difficulty or something along those lines. I just thought of this, but maybe an idea to remedy the quest problem with no map markers could be handled similarly to World of Warcraft, where you get a big blue circle or whatever shape to encompass the area the quest is located, and it's on the player's shoulder to go from there. That circle quest indicator marked on your map sort of leads into the next section, which would be a customizable map and or journal. Now I know this may not be entirely connected to exploration, but it ties together the idea of having no map markers. As with a customizable map, I would want to be able to place map markers myself and name the locations perhaps. This option could preferably be used anywhere, so the player would be able to mark those special vignettes I've mentioned and make them a permanent place on the map, just in case the player wanted to return. What would also be cool to me would be the ability to make notes on certain locations. Let's say for now the player has map markers activated. When you're going through an area, you might discover a master lock that holds a fat man behind the door, but you're only level 12 and can't open it just yet. The ability to place a note on the map or on the marker saying Master Lock Fat Man would be really helpful, as there have been plenty of times where I found a lock or a terminal I couldn't hack and tried to make a mental note of the location only for me to forget an hour later. Overall, this is just more of a suggestion to provide a little more convenience to how the map works in general. Now I finally want to address the idea of fast travel and exploration. I know that some players, including myself, fast travel without even thinking about it during any normal playthrough and take it sort of for granted. and tying it back to having no map markers, everything's coming together here, I would imagine trying to make fast travel a craftable, consumable item. This is the interesting part, as the player could place these pylons or flares anywhere on the map, regardless of a vicinity to a location. So this item would allow the player to hop from wherever they are back to, let's say, any of the major locations I mentioned previously, like Sanctuary or Diamond City, then allow the player to hop right back to where they were before they fast travel. I would put the restriction of the pylon item to be destroyed the moment the player returns to the location. So you couldn't place one at every major location, or even just like little location, and have it be just like it is now with fast travel, thus almost wiping away the entire point of putting a limitation, like an item, on fast travel. If I were to devise the way to attain this item or its blueprints, I would make it initially a blueprint you get for helping the Minutemen get enough settlements to join the cause. This would in turn give more of a reason to side with the Minutemen, at least until you get the blueprint. You could then, later on in the story, after obtaining the first blueprint, go to the Brotherhood of Steel and be given a quest to scour the wasteland, surveying locations and gathering that kind of data for them. After finding enough locations, they could take your blueprint and improve on the design so that the pylons are not destroyed after one use, or could even be a permanent but only have a limited amount active at any one time perhaps. Alright, that'll do it for me today. Simple enough video, but I wanted to get you guys talking about what you really enjoy or dislike about exploration within Bethesda titles. What are some of your ideas? And if you have any questions, quarrels, or queries, be sure to let me know. Always want to hear your feedback. I'm Cucumber, and remember, pass the dressing.